Welcome to Cooking with Taz. As you all probably know, at Lake Dispute we all love eating and sharing delicious food. Who doesn't? Our porridge and play and picnic and play sessions are all about playing, but they are also about having delicious food together as a nice way to chat and get to know each other. So I have been thinking about all the food we share at porridge and play and picnic and play, and I have come up with some delicious dishes for you to cook at home with your family. But we know that it's easy to make lovely nutritious food if you know where to start. So let's start right here. Tomatoes. Fresh like this or out of a tin, always delicious. But also, tomatoes are packed full of vitamin C, which is really very good for our heart, but also it's great to keep our immune system strong so we can stay healthy. Oh, and they're so tasty. Yum. Tomatoes are fruit. In fact, a tomato is the berry of the tomato plant, which originated in South and Central America. Many years back, in what we now call Mexico, lived a people called the Aztecs. From the Aztecs language came the word tomate, which later became the Spanish word tomate, from which the English word tomato comes. So we have to thank the Aztec people for both introducing us to the word tomato and to the lovely tomatoes. Hello, Mr. Tomato, how do you do? Lovely to meet you. Okay, here are the ingredients we're going to need for our lovely tomato soup. So, you want an onion, a carrot, 1 clove of garlic, which is a little bit here. You want some tomatoes, of course. So today we're going to use chopped tomatoes out of a tin. You can, of course, use fresh tomatoes, but either or will do. We're going to use a jug of water. We're going to need some oil, salt, pepper, a sprinkle of sugar. I'm using brown sugar here, but you can use white sugar as well, any sugar you've got at home. And some plain flour and a little vegetable stock cube. And to cook and mix all those beautiful ingredients together, you're gonna need a wooden spoon, a big pot, and a blender, and of course, as usual, a grown-up. Alright, well, we got it all, so we're ready to get started. Get your penny on. And of course, as usual, wash your hands before you start. Remember to ask your grown-up to show you or help you to peel and chop the vegetables so they look like this. Great, so let's get started. First up, get the cooker going, and in your big pot you want to put a couple of spoonfuls of oil. So 2 tablespoons. These are the biggest spoons that we use for eating. Those are tablespoons. So we want 2 tablespoons of oil, as usual. You can use olive oil, you can use vegetable oil, you can use sunflower oil, you can use butter. So one of the great things about soup is that you can interchange different ingredients and still works. So for example, you can use butter instead of oil and it will be fine. But in this case, we're going to use oil. So that is heating up and we want to put our onion in first. There it goes. And give it a wee stir. So what we are going to do with these vegetables is we're going to coat them in oil and we're going to soften them a little bit so they change color, they're nice and soft, and then we can add the water, the stock cube and so on. But first of all, we need to fry them a little bit so they get nice and soft. So here is my onion in, and now I'm gonna put my garlic chopped. So 1 wee clove of garlic in there. Oh, the smells, oh, such different smells. So the onion really lovely and sweet and strong smell, and then you put the garlic in and the smell changes. It's great. So we'll mix that nicely so the oil coats the onion and the garlic. Here's our carrot, and it goes. Another wee stir. Stir, stir, stir. And I think if we leave this just for 10 minutes, they'll get nice and soft, and then we'll continue. Okay, great. Now these are now nice and soft. So what we are going to do next is we are going to add 1.5 tablespoons of flour. Okay, so here's 1.5. Lovely. And we're gonna give that a nice wee stir as well. The vegetables. Lovely. So now in goes the tomatoes. Nice. Wow, that smells good already. Okay, so we combine everything together there. And here's for some seasoning. So, salt. A wee pinch of salt in. Of course, it's best to put less now and add more later if the soup needs it after you taste it. So, but for now we'll put a pinch of salt. We'll put a little bit of pepper there as well. There we go. And a wee sprinkle of sugar. Now the reason why I'm putting sugar into this is because sometimes tomatoes can be a little bit acidic. And you don't want an acidic tomato soup. So if you put a little bit of sugar, it just takes that acidic taste away. And it makes the sweetness of the tomatoes come out really nicely. So we put salt, we put pepper, we put sugar, and now, oh, where's my little cube? Ha! This little fella. Vegetable stock cube. So these are little things that you can get in any shop. Really, they are very cheap and very easy to find. They look like this. And what these do is they just kind of bring out the flavors even more in everything that we put in there. So of course, don't put the paper in, just the cube in. And now that that is in there, we're gonna add water. Cover all the vegetables. Here we go. We stir there. Lovely. Okay, so we're gonna let that come to the boil, and once it's boiling, we'll bring down the heat on the cooker. Your grown-up can do that for you, and we let the soup simmer for about 30 minutes. Yeah, about 30 minutes. See, when I say bring it to the boil, it means that the water needs to get to the boiling point, and you'll know that that is exactly what is happening because you can see those bubbles there. So that is the water boiling. So what we want is to bring the heat down and let the soup simmer for about 30 minutes. Just enough time to get to know the funky chicken. Do you know the funky chicken? I'll see you in a bit. So here it is. Our soup is almost ready. Now we need to use the blender, and for this you definitely, most definitely want your grown-up to help you, or even better, maybe you want your grown-up to do it themselves. So it's quite noisy. Here we go. Oh, wow, look at that. Oh, it smells so good. But now to taste. See if it needs any more salt or pepper. Very carefully because you don't want to burn. That is a lovely tomato soup. Nice and creamy and full of vitamin C. Delicious. By the way, our friend Ryan from Milton, he's growing tomato plants, and I think he's been maybe making tomato soup, or if he hasn't, he's thinking about it, so I hope he does after this. Yum. So that's it. Our tomato soup is ready. Ooh. So now, for a nice bowl of it, here we go. Oh, you can serve it with bread and butter, or even with some oatcakes, it'll be lovely. Oh yeah, yum. Tomatoes. So lovely and red. A great tasty fruit to keep you in good health. I'll see you soon. Keep cooking. See ya. Oh, this is lovely.